NBC4's Kate Larson is live in Hancock Park where the protest continues right now. Kate, good evening.
Good evening to you. That's right. People have their tents out. They say they're spending the night and that they'll be here until Tuesday when the police commission is expected to make their final decision about whether the shooting of Ezell Ford was justified.
It is our duty to fight for freedom!
Dozens chanting and camping outside Mayor Eric Garcetti's house tonight.
It is our duty to win!
Protesting after news leaked Friday that LAPD Chief Charlie Beck and Inspector General Alex Bustamante both concluded the two officers involved were justified in the shooting of Ezell Ford last summer.
They can't feel our pain, the emptiness we feel.
Ezell Ford's aunt and mother joined the group.
If the mayor was in our position, how would he feel? Beck was in our position, how would he feel? But yet and still these cops are still on the beat.
I really don't feel that there will be anything different. I feel that they've already made their decision. They made their decision the day they killed Ezell.
Earlier today, the mayor's communication officer came out to speak to Ms. Ford.
They've assured me that, they'll set up something, but why did it take this? Why did I have to come here?
We live in a community where we feel that we're in a constant state of attack.
Melina Abdullah, an organizer with the Black Lives Matter movement, says the protest is about more than one police shooting. It's about police-community relations across the country.
Our young people, as they're growing up, I remember my mother doing this with me, and now I'm doing it with my children. We're trained how to survive a police interaction, and that shouldn't be the way that we live.
The police commission says that no decision will be final until Tuesday and that doing otherwise would be unfair to the Ford family and LAPD. Meanwhile, protesters out here would like that meeting to be open to the public. They also say they'd like Mayor Garcetti to fire Chief Beck, and they'd also like to see a new policy for reparations to families victimized by police. We will have crews out here throughout the week bringing you the latest. Live in Hancock Park, Kate Larson, NBC4 News.
Look at that, right through the ivy, pit maneuver, and oh, look at that, she's trying to carjack the police officer's car. Unbelievable, slamming her to the ground.
Twists, turns, it was all touch and go tonight. Police chase and tackle a woman wanted for stealing a truck. Every close call was caught by News Chopper 4.
NBC4's Kate Larson live in Chatsworth where she talked to a woman who owned that stolen truck. Kate.
Kathy, that's right, and her truck was actually stolen right in front of her, but then she used an iPhone app to help police track down the suspect right here to Chatsworth.
LA police pursuing a
News Chopper 4 overhead as a carjacking suspect speeds down the 101 during our 6 o'clock news.
I was in the house maybe 15, 20 seconds when I heard the car start.
Meanwhile, Christy Adair, too shaken to show her face tonight, had just been carjacked in her own driveway in Sherman Oaks.
And so I ran outside and I saw a woman backing my truck out of the driveway, and I had a bag in my hand and I threw the bag at her and she put it in drive and drove towards me very fast, and so I got out of the way. I just was screaming at her to stop.
But she didn't, so Christy called 911 and used the Find My iPhone app to track her cell phone that she had left in her brand new truck, which was now flying down the freeway.
We watched it on Channel 4.
Oh, he's going to go right through the tree. Look at that, right through the ivy, all the way across, wrong side of the road.
I had tears in my eyes and I was watching, just praying that she was not going to hurt anybody.
Here we go. Pit maneuver.
Then around 6:30, police stopped the truck on Nordhoff Street in Chatsworth.
Is that a woman?
A woman gets out of the truck looking like she's about to surrender when she runs towards a police cruiser and tries to get inside.
Unbelievable, slamming her to the ground.
The woman was taken into custody and away on a stretcher. Later tonight, Christy showed up to the scene to get her truck back, surprised it made it so far on a quarter tank of gas.
The car has better gas mileage than I thought it would.
Police tell me the suspect has been released from the jail and right now is being booked at the Van Nuys jail. We do expect to learn more about her tomorrow. For now, though, that's the latest here live in Chatsworth. I'm Kate Larson, NBC4 News. Guys, back to you.
The Montebello fire has scorched about 200 acres and it's still growing.
NBC4's Kate Larson is live with the attack from the air and the ground and that arrest. Kate.
Kathy, that's right. You know, when we got here around 4 o'clock, the area where I'm standing right along Rosemead Boulevard was completely engulfed in flames. You can see this fence is down. It is burnt. Now, just a little while ago, we were beyond this hill and there were horse trailers pulling out of the neighborhood, moving animals out of the way. People telling us they are packed up and ready to go just in case these flames grow overnight. Whittier Narrows recreation area aglow with fire tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Neighbors in Rosemead under voluntary evacuation.
It's too dry out here.
Watching anxiously as flames creep towards them over a hillside.
Flames right up in here is what scared me, because that's when they told us that we needed to evacuate because it was swinging around.
If they come down with a police department and tell us to leave because it's real close, then we're going to leave.
Earlier in the day, flames hopping across roads, burning quickly through dry brush. Firefighters relying on helicopters and super scooper planes. 1,000 gallons at a time, the Firehawks pull water from nearby Leg Lake. Dumping water on difficult to access burn areas spread all over the park.
You know, we're having to cut through some fences, and we do have some down power lines that were blocking roads.
I'm asking you to leave.
One young man was arrested after continually running into a dangerous burn. But it was a 44-year-old homeless man who was arrested and booked for arson. Montebello Fire Chief says homeless people often camp out in one of the park's riverbeds.
It appears at this time through the investigation that the individual was involved in heating or cooking food or in the area.
LA County firefighters and Montebello firefighters are staging nearby. I just checked in with them. We are at still 200 acres burned so far with 20% containment. They say it is very likely that both the Super Scoopers and the Firehawk helicopters will be back out here in the morning once the sun comes up, making more water drops. As the latest here live in South El Monte, Kate Larson, NBC4 News.
Kate, it was a packed house.
Yes, Carolyn, that's right. In fact, even though it was a last-minute event, about 2,000 people showed up here to the Wiltern tonight. Bernie Sanders was supposed to be in Wyoming, but says because of a snowstorm, he decided to move his campaign here to Southern California. Erupting into cheers as Bernie Sanders takes the stage. Supporters of the Democratic candidate rallied by the thousand for Sanders' last-minute campaign stop in Los Angeles.
If there is a large voter turnout, we will win the California primary.
Earlier tonight, Southern Californians lined up around the block outside the Wiltern on Wilshire Boulevard, hopeful that Sanders will beat Hillary and make it to the general election in November.
My first election I ever get to vote for, I get to vote for a candidate that represents all the ideals that I believe in.
Brent Gutkowski is turning 18, 4 days before California's June 7th primary, and hopes his vote for Bernie will help him and others pay for college.
His message of economic opportunity and equality allows people that feel like they've been taken out of the political process to come back and actually have their voice heard for once in a while.
Inside the theater, supporters cheered for Bernie like he was one of the rock stars that perform here. While he spoke about his hallmark issues of income inequality, free tuition at public colleges, and Medicare for all.
I just like Bernie because Bernie is for me. Bernie has all the right ideas. Bernie is not bought.
Now, even though Clinton has a significant lead over Sanders in the overall delegate count tonight, supporters here remain resolute and believe that Bernie Sanders will be their eventual candidate on the ballot come November. Live in Koreatown, I'm Kate Larson, NBC4 News. Back to you. Adrian, we've actually moved inside Bluebird Liquor, and you know what happens when there's $900 million on the line? People get excited. Are you guys feeling lucky in here? A lot of happy folks think that at 8 o'clock tonight they're going to be a lot richer. Why do people come to Bluebird Liquor? If you look on the wall, they've got all these checks. I've spoken to the owner, James Kim. He's owned this store for about 2 decades, and they have had 7 major jackpots. The last big one, though, was 12 years ago, so they might be due for another one. Now, some of the people that I spoke to at 5 o'clock when we last checked in with you were at the back of the line, are now just paying for their tickets. So it takes about an hour to get through, and there's less than an hour to buy your tickets. tickets. The cutoff time is 7 o'clock. Take a look. Earlier today, people were also lined up here at Bluebird Liquor. The owner tells me it's been like this all week long. He tells me that today, so far, he's counted that they have sold about 60,000 tickets. All those people hoping to win the jackpot, some of them buying about $800 worth of tickets, I've been told, some of those work pools. So what do you do with all that money? Here's what folks here had to say tonight.
I like to do research space stuff, so I'd actually do SpaceX and just donate money to them and see if I can get on a list to go to space.
My first thing is going to be mainly going to go buy a family, houses, and saving up money for my godkids and all that, and my nephews, and just making sure that I take care of my family. That's going to be the biggest thing.
Well, I think one of my coworkers said that she was going to go to an island, and we were going to have naked guys to fan us and drink some drinks, so...
I just spoke to one man who bought his one single ticket. I asked him what he was going to do with the money, and he told me that he wanted to buy my blue coat. I told him that he could have my coat. He just had to take me out to dinner and buy me a new one. So, long line here still at Bluebird Liquor. It's actually created quite a traffic and parking jam around here. So if you're in Hawthorne and wondering what's going on, this is what's going on right here. Again, the odds, 1 in 292 million, but that doesn't seem to bother anyone here. Everyone's feeling lucky at Bluebird Liquor tonight. That's the latest here live in Hawthorne. I'm Kate Larson, NBC4 News. Back to you.